Thanks for checking out our channel here. This is going to be a fun one to show you. Hopefully you've seen other videos. We've got 700 and some odd videos on YouTube as of this recording. So if you've seen other videos, we appreciate you finding us. If you subscribe to the channel, we'd appreciate that too. Hit that thumbs up button. That would be really helpful, because I'd rather have a thumbs up than a subscriber, because we don't make a lot of money at YouTube, so I'm not retiring anytime soon off of YouTube, but it helps the channel out. If you hit that thumbs up button, we appreciate it. But it's going to be a how-to repair video on this old unit. It's an old Gallagher M800 from the good old days kind of thing, and we're going to tear into it. So if you got a fence charger of some brand, we work on all that stuff, no matter what brand and model it is. We also work on the cattle scales and low bars and EID tag readers for Gallagher and True Test. So if you got friends that you use that stuff, or your neighbor or your friends do, or local co-op sells them, you want to tell them about us, be happy to help out other people. So let's tear into this thing. And I'm not going to plug it in. If you saw in the picture on the thumbnail, the video, yeah, there's some goodness on the inside. Some Mr. Critter of some sort decided to make his home inside there at some point in time. This plastic is pretty brittle on it. We're going to put another case on this thing, but that's the least of the that's the least of its worries. Now, look at that big old mouse nest. All right, just a second. I'll keep this case for a moment, because we may need to pop the lenses out. These lenses don't come with the case, the new one, but I might have a spare case laying around here. We can put the lens on and get the guy going. But oh yeah, some of the wires are all chewed on. Let's pull this board out of here. You can see some of the wires have been chewed on. This one doesn't really have any effect, so this one's not a big deal. It's probably ripped out and get rid of it. But this black wire there, been chewing, goes to the capacitor. So let's do some initial checks. These are the checks I do every time I have one of these old M800 style units in for repairs. These are the checks that I do. Check the capacitor real quick. This is a either a 30 or a 40 microfarad capacitor. I can't remember. The early ones had a 30, the later ones had a 40. So we'll pop this strap off here. This one's a 40, so this is a later version. So we're going to test it and see what it reads. There's no polarity to it, so no matter which wire goes where. So you put it black to red, red to black, or black to black, red to red. It reads 7, so the capacitor is junk. So that's one thing. Now I'm going to check the transformer. Primary side doesn't, they don't go bad that often. Should be down here. Should be 0 to 1 or 0.3 up here at top. Here should be around 11-ish. So far, transformer's okay. We still got to do a ground fault test and all that stuff. Alright, we'll check this capacitor or the board. Need to replace the light bulb, so he's burned out. That's cosmetic. That doesn't keep the unit from running. This is another part that sometimes goes bad. This is the over voltage protection piece right there. MOV or VDR. This little black thing right there sometimes goes bad. We'll check. If this piece right there looks good, then it is good. If they're bad, it'll be black and burnt looking on the top or the whole thing. These little black things down at the bottom, they usually will look good, but they'll test bad. It's good. So this board might be okay. I mean, there's other parts that can cause problems, but at the moment it looks fine. We will solder a new light bulb in there. But let's go get a new capacitor for it. So let's see, capacitor we're going to use, and then I need the capacitors that we use are a little bit bigger around than what Gallagher uses in there. So we do two way because you can't put the strap over it. The strap that was originally on there will physically fit around it like that. But by the time you put it in there and snap it in, it shrinks up, and this is too big around a capacitor for it to fit. You can see it's a little bit, sticky, a little bit smaller around. So just push that double-sided foam on there. That just kind of helps keep it there. And we take this long, thicker zip tie, and we just basically use that as our strap to hold it in. Snip off the extra. This bulb right there is burned out, so we need to replace that. That board looks okay. It's old style. It's probably from the 80s. Oh, 1992. 1992. Looks good. Both black and burned out. That's cosmetic, but you can see 1992 on this board. Old school. Alright, so let's get these two boards over here. We're going to desolder both light bulbs off of here. Now these bulbs won't keep the unit from working. It's cosmetic, but it's kind of nice to be able to see those lights flashing if we can help it. So might as well got in for repair. Go ahead and change them while we're doing it. Doing all the other repairs and such and test. Some of these boards, this is a later version. The earlier 1980s and stuff on these Gallaghers of this style of unit. They had two light bulbs there versus just one, but one bulb, two bulb didn't really matter. It worked the same. So now we'll now I should be able to wiggle and pull that out. We'll wiggle and pull that out. So both those bulbs are black and burned out. So we'll put new ones in. The bulb on the small board should be, clear where you can see through it. And then the other one, which originally was white. You can see it's supposed to be white and they were usually green, what neon it was, these bulbs. And I use a bunch of different colors. I don't know what we're going to, all of them are white, but there's red, green, white, orange, blue colored neon bulbs that I've got. So I just put them on the same drawer, pull one out, and whatever color we got, that's what it's going to be. Alright, now I gotta find my solder. There it is. So 10 little iron. We'll go in and solder one on. So that's done. We'll snip off the extra. Alright, so now we'll take this board, come on. Alright, that one's in. Now before we put this board in here, let's redo this wire. These wires look okay, so we'll go ahead and plug. That's loose. Oh, that one broke. This brittle old metal. And there's that little black wire go. There it is. We'll just make a new wire up. So we need to be about that long, so cut it just a little longer so I have a little room to breathe. And we'll crimp on some standard female spade connectors. Plug this one over here. Now we'll take a couple of spade connectors and put them on here. Alright, oh, this wire's chewed up too, so let's change this wire too. I only need a wire probably about that long ought to work. I think I'm going to replace the connectors on all these other ones right here. Well, that was loose. Because if 2 or 3 are kind of crusty and brittle, you know, what's to say the other ones aren't? So we're going to change out these 2 as well. I'd rather do it right the first time than have to it work for a week or 2 or whatever, and then it quits working or something, and the guy calls up and says, hey, that unit you fixed for me a couple weeks ago was working great, and all of a sudden it quit working. I'm not sure what happened. He either takes it apart and sees what happened, or he sends it back here and it's because some stupid little 10-cent piece was brittle and broke and arced and burnt up. And then you're like, God dang, why didn't I just fix that when it was in here last time? So I try to cover my bases with repairs, make sure I do all the work that needs to be done to it. Okay. This wire is not super critical. We'll keep it in. That one's cracked. There's plenty of wire there. And what we'll do is we'll just take some electrical tape to get the thing crimped on there, and we'll just wrap up the chewed up spot. Alright, electrical tape. I guess I could have replaced the wire, I guess, but it's chewed all the way up to there, so it's and then this is going to go to the white neutral wire. Get on there. Alright, let's, this has got some corrosion on it right here, so we'll spray a little, this is WD-40 Specialist Contact Cleaner. We use whatever, but that's what we're going to use. So on then we'll take a Dremel with a wire brush. Those tabs all look good. They're not. One thing he did want us to change out, he wants us to change out his cord as well. You can see it's all dry rotted and brittle. So we'll possibly do that here in a second. We've got to find a cord for it. Alright. Cord looks pretty janky, but I think it's okay physically or electrically. Now what should happen is this light should come on and glow whatever color it's going to glow. Green was a factory one, but we could have green in there. We could have blue, red, yellow, white. And this one should flash red with every pulse. So let's turn it on. Happen to be green, this color we happen to pick out of the little box. See it flashing there. So far so good. Camera's not picking it up every single time. Huh. Frame rate or something. Well, it is flashing every single time. Alright, let's hook across here. So about 7,000 give or take. 6.5 right where it's supposed to be. Now let me unplug my fan, plug it into a different outlet that's tied to ground, and we'll do a ground fault test real quick. Hook this wire to the ground side. Light still flashing. Alright. Oops. Alright, let's see. He wants a new cord put on. So electrically and stuff, that the charger's done. But he wants a new case, or we've got a spare case. And then he wants a new cord put on it, so we'll put a new cord on it. So let's start that process. Let's unplug this wire. Get that up out of the way. Unplug this white wire and black wire for the cord. Unplug it. Gonna take this board back out. Unplug the green wire from over here. And then we need a pair of pliers. These should work. Got this strain relief down here. We got to squeeze and pull. There's the cord. We'll take this off and reuse it. But there's the old cords out. So we'll take it and junk it because it's pretty dry rotted and hard as a cart. Find a cord for them. Alright, I don't have a new cord, but we'll use this spare cord here. This is the black cord. It didn't have a ground on it, which is not required with these things, so it doesn't really matter on that part of it. So let's take that strain relief. Where the hell did I put that strain relief at? Oh, there it is. Let's take, you see what was in it, had a strain relief on it at some point in time on another unit. So we'll take it and put it right back in its little spot. First, let's put this connector on that white wire. See, this one doesn't have that piggyback on it like this one does, because this wire is not really critical, but let's put it on there just because it's there and we can. It's not required to make it run and work, but it's there. It's still able to do what it's supposed to, so we'll go ahead and install that on there. So we'll crimp that on there. Now we'll slide this back through the case. Our pliers. This does go in a certain way because it's got a kind of a certain shape to it. Alright, needle nose. Black wire goes to the first spot. Come on. White wire with the piggyback goes to the next spot. We'll take this black wire, plug it onto the piggyback. Now I got to put a new, whatever you call it, a new AC plug on there. So we'll do that. See what plugs I've got first. Alright, got this one. Here's a 2-prong. So alright, so we'll strip this back. Alright, black goes to our brass gold colored screw. off a little bit more. And actually, it doesn't really matter which wire it goes where. AC does not have a polarity electrically. It does, but so fast you'll never see it. There's one. We'll go over here. All right, put that in there. All right, so that's all done. Let's get this board slapped back in there. Come on. Bind it up on there a little bit. All right, plug this cord back in. For whatever reason, it doesn't always show that red light flash, but it is flashing every single time. All right, let me go pause this and see what kind of case I've got for here, because see, this one's no good. Pretty beat up. So put you on pause for a moment and we go find another case. All right, I got a good spare case, but it's missing a couple things on the front. Missing the label, which is not a big deal, but it's missing those lenses right there. It's like Mr. Larry from way back when didn't want to fix his unit or something, and we kept the case around for some reason, for reasons like this. So we'll cut out, put it across his name, and we'll take a black permanent marker, write down Gallagher M800. So this is the power light, fence light. Cobwebs on this thing. It's sitting top of the spare racks for however long. It's collected a dust and grime on it. So let's I don't know. Gallagher may still make cases for this. It's not going to be orange. It's going to be a black case, because that's what they went to, black and orange, the color scheme. So there's that. You can see the other lenses are a lot smaller. The old ones were these big red and clear ones. The later ones were small rectangular ones right over the actual lens. Let me see if I got a couple of lenses. If I don't, we're going to put a piece of like some really good strapping tape or packing shipping tape over this, the thick stuff. And that'll block off water and bugs and moisture, stuff like stuff like that. So give me a second to look for my bin of stuff, see if I got any lenses for these versions. Alright, I still had some in stock. So we'll put the clear ones there. Put the red one there. Plug this back in. That doesn't show up every single time, but it is flashing every single time here in person. Well, this unit's done. There's nothing else we need to do to it. Nice little pop to it like it's supposed to have. So, well, we're going to call this one done. We'll pop off the side, let it run for a little while, but I think it's good to go. These Gallaghers either work or they don't. And that was kind of a load across there, and it didn't slow it down much, didn't change the pulse power or anything. It still did its thing, didn't make it go faster or slower, so we should be good. So if you got a fence charger, old Gallagher unit or old whatever unit, send it on in here to us. We'll be happy to take a peek at it for you. We do work on all brands and ages and fix all these old things. So until next time, we'll see you guys later on.